What is going on, everybody? This is Gabriel Jones giving you a drop of sun any chance I get. Today we're going to be doing an album from Post Malone, the new release, called Austin. It's going to be fascinating to explore Post Malone for the first time in depth on this channel, considering that he was pretty much the biggest recording artist of the late 2010s. While starting off in hip-hop, Posty slowly developed more into a pop singer, and he switched in and out between the two genres. For this video, I decided to revisit his 2019 release, Hollywood's Bleeding, and I'm pretty sure it's not unfair to label it as his most essential album. What stands out to me is the way he properly balances hip-hop, pop, and even rock. It all meshes together thanks to Post Malone's brooding yet eccentric persona. He takes the time to explore his feelings towards fame, relationships, and the LA scene. Hollywood's Bleeding has also been a massive success, placing very high on Billboard 200's year-end lists. Then we have the next album, 12 Carat Toothache, which didn't make as much noise as its predecessor. While it did produce a few hit collabs, it didn't reach the same critical or commercial success. Some people saw that record as the beginning of Posty's decline, but I still have hope that he's not quite done yet. Chemical is doing pretty well in the charts after all, and hopefully Austin will have some other single-worthy songs. Before we get into it though, I want to advise everyone to leave a like and comment for this video, because the more engagement the video receives, the more likely YouTube will pick it up in the algorithm, so I thank y'all for that. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell, because I could use all the support in the world, and it will put a huge smile on my face. With all that said, be sure to put on your denim, and let's get into Austin. Track number 1, Don't Understand. Kind of sounds very, like, moody in its presentation right now. He was all high and mighty at a certain point, but then it all went to shit. Very self-critical in this song, I gotta say. Violins right there, adding to the depressing nature. You know, I don't think we've had that many stripped-back songs from Post Malone in like quite a few years at this point. Alright, so that was Don't Understand, and yeah, kind of a downer mood to open up the album with. Instrumentally, it's not too complex. We just have a guitar, some violins, and Post Malone's voice. This is him bearing a soul to the listener, and with the lyrics that we just listened to, yeah, that's pretty telling. It just seems to be a song where Post Malone is just kind of deprecating on himself, and he's singing to this potential partner about, I have no idea why you would ever put up with me. Like, I'm just a fucking loser. From what I can remember, I don't think Post Malone has had that many songs where he's just being very self-critical. But yeah, it is a little bit sad to listen to. Not much else to say about this song. I think it's alright, so let's keep moving forward. Track number 2, Something Real. Ooh, we got choir going on here. Wow. He's sort of secluding himself from his loved ones. That doesn't sound good. Like, he's in a church now. Like, that church he built in the previous song, he's singing that tune in that church. Kind of an interesting vocal delivery right there. Yeah, the drumming that just kind of bangs right there as the chorus is introduced. Would he give up all the fame just so he could have, like, a happy sort of outlook on life? Alright, so Something Real. That song had a lot of, like, ferocity to it, you know? The choir was extremely aggressive, as well as, like, the banging of the beats. Yeah, this song definitely has, like, a lot of energy to it, you know, more so than the last tune. This is a song where Posty is trying to ask the Lord to give him something that can make him happy, you know, whether that be drugs or alcohol or cars or maybe even a vacation in Greece. Maybe he'll see my boy Victor Vernico's there. They might have a collab in their future. But yeah, it's just a song where he talks about how whenever he's dealing with a problem, he looks for a quick fix, and that doesn't really seem to do the trick in the long run. And he pleads to God to help him out of this train wreck he calls life. I guess in this song he also asks himself, if I wasn't famous, if I didn't become the superstar that I am today, like, would I have a much easier life? Would it be easier to communicate with other people? Yeah, it's just something that is like on his brain. A pretty interesting song, I gotta say. Not too bad. Track number 3, Chemical. This is the big single from the new record, so I won't talk about it too much, but let's just delve in anyway. Love that percussion. Joining in with the guitar. Oh yes, the way the chorus just hits. Still thinking of that point in the video where he dances his ass off. You know, on a side note, this is probably the danciest sort of tune that he's ever recorded. At least one that's become a huge hit. I can just imagine Posty just going all out while playing the guitar on stage. Ah, fucking love that. Taking a page out of the Harry Styles playbook. Just bringing in the bells. Okay, so that was Chemical. Yeah, it's still a fantastic song. I've played this on Apple Music many, many times before this video, and I still love it to death. It has a great energy to it, and I like how Posty is really like getting vulnerable, talking about this toxic romance that he's dealing with. Honestly, I want to save a lot of my thoughts for the year-end list because wink wink, it might end up on somebody's best list. So we're just going to keep moving forward. Track number 4, Novacandy. Okay. Seems like we're in a much happier place right now. Okay. He's saying to himself, yeah, I am totally glad I got hooked on drugs. I'll give up my tongue for a taste, you know? Kind of sacrificing something you need for something that's momentary. Yeah, the gluttony is just kind of really, like, pouring down on him. Okay, here we go. This is the part where the crowd is supposed to chant along with him. Ooh, this is kind of like the part where, like, the dopamine is sort of, like, dying out, and he's, like, getting back into reality. Alright, so Novacandy. Yeah, that song actually really worked with me. I like how extremely happy he presents himself as, because, you know, he's very high on drugs at the moment, like taking all different kinds of pills to put himself in a good mood. And he has the rock instrumental working along with him to really capture that happy vibe. He's just screaming with joy, and then everyone else joins with him on that. It's also interesting because Posty acknowledges that this happiness is momentary, and that he'll probably have to, like, really step back into reality once the dopamine wears off. He also seems to acknowledge that drugs may not be the answer to all of his problems, like the line, I would give up my tongue for a taste. Like, that's an essential part of your body, and you're sacrificing it just to get something that isn't going to last very long. Like, the joy is there, but you know that it's going to evaporate soon. Overall, I really like the way this song is structured. I think it might be a highlight for me right now. Track number 5, Mourning. This song I know he released as a single, following up Chemical, so we won't have to talk about it too much, but we always listen within the context of the LP. Is he picking a fight with God? Boy, let me tell you, you do not want to get struck by lightning, okay? Just be sure to wash yourself. Did I just hear a hiccup? Like, is he hiccuping from the alcohol he's consuming? that would be pretty funny. Throwing up is easy, yeah. Probably because you need to lay off the whiskey. Ooh, the high note with the echo in the background. Kind of like faded out a little bit. Kind of like that guitar playing us out. Okay, so that was Mourning. I've listened to it before. I don't have too much to say about it. Although I think it's pretty interesting how this song follows Novacandy, you know. That's like the song where he was experiencing a very good high, and then Mourning is kind of like him sobering up, and, you know, that's how he opens the song, of course. But still, it's kind of like he's telling a story with those two songs. There's a real sequence that you could follow with Novacandy and Mourning. And of course, he still wants to keep partying, you know, don't let it end. I ain't done with it yet. Yeah, there's some pretty neat stuff to find in this song, so yeah, that's what I have to say about it. Track number 6, Too Cool to Die. This sounds like it's one of the more pop-influenced songs right now. There's like something very like wistful about the energy for this song. I really like the way he's singing and how he's working very well with the instruments. He might be a little too early with that sentiment, my girl. Like, give it some time to flesh out. Oh yeah, the scientists can assure you on that, Posty. Okay, so that was Too Cool to Die, and yeah, I gotta say, this song really fits well with the record. It's very calming and relaxing. Posty is feeling good about himself. From what I saw from the lyrics initially, it kind of felt like a song where Posty was trying not to get too close to a girl, even though she really wants to be with him. I guess he's saying he's too cool for commitment. But, you know, it's also him saying, like, you know, I'm gonna live on forever because I just have that much self-confidence. Props to him for acknowledging that climate change is a real threat to the earth. That's always good. Also really love how the instruments work with his voice. Like, it's just a simple drum, guitar, bass line, and he's just laying out his soul for the world to hear. It's very easygoing with the way it sounds, and yeah, this one is going to be a really nice tune to revisit. Track number 6, Sign Me Up. Wow, I love the way the drums are played right there. I could not believe it. Ooh, so she a fancy ass girl. Okay, so he wants a taste of danger. I just love the drum in this song. Like, it's just so expertly crafted. He was notified by Billie Eilish. Love the guitar too, bass guitar. Okay, so that was Sign Me Up. Such an interesting song to say the least. Post Malone seems to acknowledge that he's in a toxic relationship with a girlfriend who's controlling him, but that just kind of turns him on even more. If your love is a cult, then I'm in it. Sign me the heck up. Yeah, it sounds like he has a thing for toxicity when it comes to romance. I honestly couldn't comment on the lyrics too much because I was just kind of like being entranced by the beats and the production. It sounds very mystifying, even though the lyrics are a little bit concerning because you don't want to see your boy Post Malone in an abusive relationship. Although apparently she's forcing him to cut back on alcohol, and that's not something he really likes. I draw the line at when you try to take away my whiskey. Yeah, overall a very interesting song. I might enjoy that one once I revisit it. But yeah, some good production. Track number 8, Socialite. Okay, we're being very stripped back again with the acoustic guitar. Ooh, sounds very fancy. More than the red Ferrari. The touch of pianos. Appreciated. Ooh, here we go. Bringing in the drums. Picking up the momentum. Ooh, yes! That little melody right there. Oh, man. So heartbreaking. Ooh, there we go. The last delivery before we end the tune. Okay, so that was Socialites. Yeah, that song felt very somber in its nature. I really like the stripped back guitar, the way the drums enter on the track, and I love the way Posty plays with his vocals towards the end. I really like that. Lyrically, I think I'm a little stumped on this song. Post Malone is thinking about all the luxury he gets to enjoy as a superstar, as a socialite, if you will. And maybe it's also a song where he sings about his love life and how that isn't really like doing so well. Maybe he's filling his life up with riches and whatnot to, you know, sort of cope with the tumultuous love life. Or maybe it's basking in the glory of being a socialite and acknowledging all the baggage that can come with that. Those are my best guesses as to what the song is about. If anyone else has other interpretations, I'd love to hear them. Leave it in the comments, please. We also hear him sing yet again about how he loves taking drugs and he acknowledges that they're bad for his body, but, you know, he's willing to sacrifice it. Obviously, I do not endorse anything regarding that chorus, but yeah, it's sort of interesting to get inside his mindset. There's a lot to appreciate with this song, and I really like the way they wrote it and the way they composed it. Good stuff. Track number 9, Overdrive. Okay. Drums are currently in the front seat to this opener. I mean, you definitely sound very exhausted, Posty. We get that a lot in some of your songs. Ooh, so much blues I sense within a song. Ooh, the descending violins right there, really adding to the emotion. Ooh, some whistling. Really kind of like putting a cherry on top of this sad tune. Driving that emotion home. Overdriving the emotion home, if you will. Alright, so that was Overdrive. Some interesting stuff to say about that one. For starters, I noticed that it sort of contrasts with Too Cool to Die, where Posty is talking about how he's too good for romance, you know? He's just too cool for that kind of stuff, and I could just spend the rest of my life being a fly as hell. But then we get this juxtaposition of a song where Posty is singing about how he really wants to impress this girl he's interested in, a girl that he wants to be with. I will do anything to win over your love, baby. I'll even get rid of my tattoos, the barbed wire, forehead tattoo, even that'll go away. It's sort of like he's acknowledging that he lives too extreme of a lifestyle to really impress this girl. She's just not into that, and she wants another man who is taking it more slow. The production truly reflects that with the violins and the slow drumming. You know, it's very loud, but you know, it also like captures the emotions. Also, the whistling at the end was very splendid. I really like that. Yeah, he really captured something with this song. I really appreciate Overdrive. Track number 10, Speedometer. Okay, this song has like a real groove to it right now. Very interesting. I like how he's very timid with his singing performance right now. Ooh, yeah. This is just a real vibe right now. I like this. I like this. Whoosh. The pronunciation of the word right there. I also like the backing vocal, honestly. Like, they're doing a great job. Okay, so that was Speedometer. I think I was pronouncing it wrong earlier. But that aside, this is a very interesting track. This is something that's very different from Post Malone. Like, I don't think I've ever heard him construct a song like this. It's him saying that he got a cool new car and he's willing to drive it over to his girl's house, and he is more than delighted that he gets to do that because he gets to show off how sick his ride is. He keeps singing about how fast he wants to go in his car, and he's going so fast that he speeds past all the lights and gets pulled over by the officer. But that's not the energy I'm getting from this song. More than anything, it feels like we're just cruising down the streets, you know, taking our time as we're enjoying this song. He just has one hand on the wheel, and his girl just has her feet kicked up on the side of the door as they're driving by. Yeah, he really captured a scene with this song, you know? It's evening time, and him and his girl are just having a wonderful time together, and yeah, we're just relaxing, we're just vibing. I love the way the keyboard plays a role in this song, you know, really putting us at ease. The drumming was also very nice. Honestly, I would argue that he should make this the next single. Like, I can see this reaching a lot of success. Hell, even TikTok could pick up on it, you know? People just recording videos of themselves driving their car, you know, taking their time, enjoying the scene, and they just have this playing in the background. This would be an awesome single to push, like, for real. Track number 11, Hold My Breath. Ooh, high-pitched vocalization with the acoustic guitar. Okay. Ooh. Oh, I heard a little bit of drumming towards the end. And right there again. It's playing tricks with me. Just please, just say those words like they're essential to my life. Oh, the angst is just sweeping right out of his voice right there. Just really straining. And now we get the sweeping cinematic violins to play us out right now. Okay, so that was Hold My Breath. That one seems to be a pretty straightforward song. Post Malone is pleading to his ex to not leave him because she has become such a huge part of him that it feels like he would be nothing without her. Say whatever you want, you know, we could resolve it. Just please don't take this away from me. Nothing too complex with this song. It's just Posty singing the blues as he witnesses himself going through a breakup, accompanied by the violins, the drumming, the guitar, and him just like really emoting on certain lines. I will say that's something he's always been really good at. I remember hearing a lot of that on Hollywood's Bleeding with songs like Goodbyes and 1,000 Bad Times. That seems to be a specialty that he possesses, I gotta say. One gripe I do have with the song is that I feel like it could have been a little bit quicker. Like, I know he really wants to let the emotion sit with the listener, but maybe the tempo could have picked up a little bit. But for the most part, it's a decent song, you know? Definitely some enjoyable elements. Track number 12, Enough Is Enough. Taking it nice and slow with the guitar. Okay. The falsetto right there, you know? Sounds like he's really working on his vocals. Seems like we're really kicking into high gear now with the sound. Yeah, looks like there was a little bit too much vodka in your bottle. I mean, there's just something about your spirit that just brightens me up. I mean, you know you can't just, like, leave him on the sidewalk as he's, like, drooling out and having no one to help him. Okay, so that was Enough Is Enough. Yeah, some interesting stuff here. Post Malone finally seems to acknowledge just how deteriorating alcoholism is. He's getting into fights downtown, he's plopping on the sidewalk, and he just cannot handle his liquor. He's pleading for his girlfriend to sort of like help him up and take him home because, you know that you can't leave me this big of a mess right here. Finding in your heart to lend some assistance, if you will. It's kind of neat how it starts off with the acoustic guitar, but then it really goes epic mode, and we really get the very dreary, sort of relaxing, but somber production with the drums and the heavier guitars. I really enjoyed the bass guitar towards the end. I thought that was a nice little earworm. Overall, I think it's pretty alright. Nothing that I have strong opinions about, so let's move on. Track number 13, Texas T. We're really just going thumping mode right now. I like the energy for this. It's almost like we're stepping into a saloon, ready to rough up a few guys. Yeah, they want to see if they can find a second postie, but there's only the one postie. I mean, every time you show off your grill, you're making everybody just swoon. Yeah, there's like a real sort of like Western vibe to this for some reason, even though it's very clearly taking place at a club. Okay, so that was Texas T. I don't think that one is too complex. Postie's just talking about how he's the life of the party. Every time he steps inside, he is just being enamored. He's got the boots on, he's got the necklaces on, people cannot stop admiring him. It's almost like the whole thing is taking place in an old Western village, and he just steps inside the barn doors and just looks at the place being like, yo, I run this town, motherfucker. Yeah, I like the stomping energy to the whole tune, and the guitars also sound very swell. Yeah, pretty fun, I gotta say. Track number 14, Buyer Beware. Alright, we're keeping up with the theme of acoustic guitars on this entire album. Ooh! We got some synthesizers right here. Really experimenting with some new stuff. Ooh! Love the clapping right here. Audience members, I'm sure, are gonna love this. Ooh, the little drum roll right there. Nice touch. I'm assuming that's beer. Packs I associate with beer. Okay, so that was Buyer Beware. That one has some interesting lyrical content, I gotta say. If I were to guess the meaning of this song, it's sort of like Post Malone singing about the cheap thrills of life. Going to a dollar store and shopping for incense and beers and other little items. And maybe he's encouraging the listener to try and shoot for more, try to like really elevate your life. Treat yourself to something a little bit better. Yeah, you know what? I think, this one is kind of stumping me a little bit. I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue and I should know it, but I'm just not quite there. So if people have other interpretations, be sure to leave them in the comments. Instrumentally, I really like it. It's kind of like it has that clapping vibe to it, and I love the little drum roll. Yeah, again, it has like a little Western theme to it almost. But yeah, there's some things to enjoy about the song for sure. Track number 15, Landmine. Ooh, I kind of like how he pronounces the word vitamins right there. The crowd chanting all together. Ooh, I like that. I like that so much. I'm sure they all have lighters to spare. Because, you know, they're good pals like that. Ooh, that little instrumental break. Yeah, really capturing that wistful vibe. Okay, that was Landmine, and I like what they did on that song. I like what they were playing with there. Easily what makes this song stand out is the choir sort of just joining all in with each other. It sounds very splendid. From what I read in the annotation, Post Malone was inspired by Gorillaz to do that, and they said they had one song where the choir all sings together. I believe he's talking about Dirty Harry, that one song where it's like, I need a gun to keep myself from harm. Yeah, like I remember they had like a choir of children on that tune, and yeah, that's definitely the song he's talking about. When it comes to the lyrics, my best guess is that he loved hanging out with his friends and spending time with them, but some of them are not too thrilled that he has to take time away from them, you know, because he's in the spotlights. He's a little frustrated that he can't work it out so well and balance the two, but hopefully he finds that place. That's what I think that song is about. If anyone else has any interpretations, I'm all ears. But yeah, I really enjoyed what they did with that song. A lot of great stuff to admire. Track number 16, Green Thumb. Yeah, again, we get that somber energy from Post. You used to grow flowers, girl, and now you're just not on that shit. Like, it would be so interesting if he's singing this about the flowers that she used to plant. Is she a bit of an oversharer? I mean, it's good to open up, but, you know, sometimes it can be excessive. Yeah, reflecting on just how long ago that love died out. Okay, so that was Green Thumb, and yeah, a lot of interesting lyrical content here. Post Malone was reflecting on a relationship that sort of died out, and he also noticed that the flowers that his ex used to plant are also kind of like wiltering and whatnot, like straight up dead at this point. It's almost weird because like Post Malone got me to care about a flower as if it was like a human being. That's very new for him. I also like how Post Malone is hoping that the new boyfriend that she has, you know, treats her well and even brings out the best in her, which is why he sings about, I hope he buys you new flowers, the ones that, you know, you used to grow. Posty also acknowledges that he has a new girl in his life named Brandy, and they might get married. And who knows, maybe him and Ray J will become brothers-in-law. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on with this tune. Nothing to say about the instrumental. It's just an acoustic guitar, but yeah, I really like what he has going on with the content. Between this and Too Cool to Die, Post Malone is showing a lot of care for the environment on this album. But it looks like our fun is just about to come to a close, so let's see how he ends the LP. Track number 17, Laugh It Off. As if he doesn't smile enough. Yeah, this doesn't sound like a very healthy relationship. But, you know, I think Posty's used to that. Ooh, yes! Bring in those drums, baby. Okay. Seems like a good thing to do, you know, getting rid of your old habits. Yeah, this one definitely has that stadium-like feel to it right here. You know, this is the closer for sure. Ooh, everything just cuts off, and we just focus on his voice. And then we just do the epic climax to this entire record, this entire journey. Oh my god, those drums just surprised me. I was trying to scroll past the page, but then I was like, whoa. Yeah. Props to Post Malone's drummer. going all out with this fucking finale. Okay, so that was Laugh It Off, and honestly, I think it makes a lot of sense to make this the closer. I like the message that it's trying to send to its listeners because it shows Post Malone is, you know, going through a lot of situations in his life, a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. But even through all that turmoil, he still finds the joy in life, you know? Especially since he has a lot of joy to share with his fans. He has a girl who doesn't exactly gel with his persona, she doesn't exactly like it. But, you know, he's like, whatever, I'm still gonna smile no matter what. It's that kind of cheer we always see whenever he's in photos where he's smiling. And he's encouraging his fans to sort of join in with him on that delight, you know? Find a way to keep smiling no matter what life throws at you. I really like that uplifting message, and I really like how it really feels elevating in the production. Especially with the way that the drums kind of surprised me during like the last 45 seconds of the tune. It's a finale track for sure, let me tell you, and Posty really was clever in that regard. So with that, I'm gonna take a break, I'm gonna let the album sit with me, I'll listen to it a second time, then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts, so bear with me. Alright, I am back, and I'm ready to give you my final thoughts on Post Malone's Austin. It's no wonder Post Malone has a denim theme for the new record. He keeps feeling the blues. Corny puns aside, I had a pretty good time with this LP. While I still declare Hollywood's Bleeding as his best work, Austin feels more like a rebound from 12 Karat Toothache, at least artistically. TCT just felt too bloated and was confused by what theme it was aiming for, while Austin had a more clear and concise vision. The album sees Post Malone abandoning the hip-hop sound completely in exchange for alternative rock. Even songs that lean into pop still maintain the rock sound. The acoustic guitar does a lot of carrying on this album, and frankly, I think it's a bit overused. By the second half, I've grown tired of it, and I wish Post Malone could have used more textured rock sounds for the second half, but thankfully, it ceases eventually. I especially enjoyed how the drumming was able to capture all sorts of moods, especially the misery. Other little touches like the violins, the bells, and the whistling were also welcome. The sound also does a decent job at reflecting the album's themes. Like some of his previous records, Posty still finds himself navigating his way through fame. That includes spending time with friends, looking his freshest, and finding a partner that he's compatible with. He relies on the drugs and alcohol to keep himself in a good spirit, even if the hangover could be massive. The lifestyle is a bit chaotic, but Post Malone can find a way to manage. I also appreciate the positive note Austin goes out on, acknowledging that life can throw so many obstacles at you, but you just have to keep your peace of mind. In other words, keep holding up your green thumb. Anyway, my favorite tracks would have to be Chemical, Speedometer, and Novacandy. My least favorites would have to be Mourning, Hold My Breath, and Overdrive. And that just about does it. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this album reaction. I had a blast with this one. I hope you did too. If you want to follow me on social media, be sure to check out my Twitter, my Twitch, and my TikTok. The links are going to be in the description. And that is where we're wrapping up for today. My name is Gabriel Jones, and the sun may be setting, but I hope you were able to soak up those drops. Take care.